This week's Retail Week is brought to you by Avail, Phosphorus Fertilizer Enhancer. Never stop pushing. Hello again, welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf, joined by Eric Sfiligoj. Again, this is the time where we get to be in the office a little bit now that the shows are over and
Yes.
retailers are hitting the fields and don't necessarily want to hear from us on the phone very much, I guess.
They just don't want to talk to us. Don't kid yourself. They don't want to talk to us.
Why are you calling me? I'm busy.
And we come to them every week, once a week, so it's like they're already getting their fill of us. So.
Yeah, but they can control it. They can always. In any event, no, it's been an interesting week. We had a bunch of conversations. We just finished up our April issue of Precision Ag Professional, planning for June and kind of the state of precision report. And talking to a bunch of people, it really seems like 2017 is going to be could be a significant watershed year when it comes to a lot of the venture capital investments and the companies that are out there. We're hearing that. With the difficulty economically in ag and the predictions of difficulties going into 18, 19, possibly another 2 to 3 years of challenges and the pressure to get returns on investment from some of these companies, we're going to see a lot more partnering. We saw a lot of partnering happening at the Commodity Classic. A lot of the announcements were folks working together. A few new products, but a lot of it was partnering and choosing up who folks are going to be working with, which is a good thing. I think that needs to happen, and we need to kind of sort some of these technologies out. But I think 17 could be a significant year going into 18. That we see a number of changes as we go forward. But hopefully we'll get some sense of that for our June report and be able to tell you a little bit more about what's going on the technology side. So, what have you been working on?
Well, actually, a couple of big news items, Paul. One I know the marketplace has been following for a couple of years is the whole Des Moines Water Works lawsuit against the farm districts in the state of Iowa. We found out last week that a federal judge has now dismissed that lawsuit completely, basically saying that the water restrictions in Iowa rest with the legislature in the state and not with the farm districts. So it's a victory for agriculture in this case.
Well, it's good news because certainly there's a lot of consternation about that.
Oh, yeah.
And it needs to be sorted out and properly vetted. And not that ag doesn't want to do the right thing, because they're trying very hard to do the right thing, but it needs to be in the right circumstances, the regulations have to be proper and the rules and so forth. So, that's a good thing.
Yeah. And the other thing to share is kind of a little more forward-looking. I know the folks out in the field have been working on various genetically modified crops, and we found out this week that one researcher actually has a variety of corn in the works that he takes a gene out of it and will not, you'll have to help me, Paul, get the fungus that sometimes will cause liver cancer. That would be
aflatoxin.
Thank you. I never could pronounce that correctly. So anyhow, this corn, if it gets to the marketplace, even if it's stored improperly in a too hot climate, will not develop that potentially damaging disease for people's livers. So this could be a very important crop from the genetically modified folks moving forward.
Sure enough, certainly down south, where you've got the higher humidity and the increase in corn acreage that we've had over the past few years, that certainly anything that addresses aflatoxin would be seen as a major positive for storage and for growers, et cetera. So that's good news.
Yes, we'll have to see what happens there.
All right. Well, that's it for this edition of Crop Life Retail Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
There are no marks of conflict lining this landscape. No echoes of economic hardship. Just the unmistakable murmur of Mother Nature's hand. In the perennial quest to outperform, ensure your crop gets the nutrients it craves with Avail Phosphorus Fertilizer Enhancer. Nothing helps protect your investment more, so you can grow confidently no matter what comes your way. Avail. Hold your ground.
Thank you to this week's video sponsor, Avail Phosphorus Fertilizer Enhancer from Verdesian Life Sciences.